All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone and salutations to the elect. We're the brothers of Great Millstone, Miami. I'm the brother Lawyer, and with me,
Brother
Khan. And the topic of this lesson is going to be going into World War III, okay? And how it won't be a normal war. This is not going to be your conventional war. Now, with that being said, does that mean that, nations aren't going to invade one another and, be on battlefield shooting bullets and bringing tanks and warplanes and warships? No, because that's of course going to happen, at the onset of World War III. Okay, but it's gonna be a global war, all right, that will escalate to nuclear destruction. Okay, all right. For a little minute, it's gonna be, your regular conventional warfare with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Okay, but then eventually they're gonna fire the missiles off, man, and the nation's gonna be blowing each other to bits. All right, chiefly Babylon the Great is gonna be utterly destroyed from off the face of the earth, but also other parts of the world like Russia and different parts of the Middle East, the state of Israel, parts of Africa and Europe, parts of Far East Asia, all right, will also get hit too. Okay, and it's going to be a devastating conflict, man. Mutually assured destruction. All right, that's why the nations are going to weep and mourn, okay, when Babylon is destroyed, because it basically spells their end too. Okay, and Esau going to retaliate with that nuclear defense system. So, we're going to start here with Isaiah chapter 9. You had any precept?
That was one I had.
John, Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. Okay, it says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." Okay, all right. So as was said at the onset of this video, World War III will be fought, with nuclear war. Okay, nuclear missiles. Of course, it will be at a certain point. It'll still be conventional warfare. Nations sending troops and invading other nations and things like that, tanks and fighter jets and bullets and ammunition and all of that. Okay, but eventually they're going to shoot their missiles, man. Okay, all right, and this will usher in the return of Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai is coming in the midst of all of this. All right, it says, "For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace." Okay, so Yahweh Shai is going to come in the midst of all of this, man. All right, and he going to be kicking ass and taking names himself. All right, the nations are actually going to leave their wars that they have with one another to try to fight against Yahweh Shai. As they done shot missiles at each other and shit, cities getting blown up, and Yahweh Shai going to pop up right in the midst of that, delivering the elect. And the nations are gonna be confederate against him. They're going to stop all that fighting. Okay, after those missiles are shot off, and try to fight against Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai is going to ultimately decimate them. Okay, ultimately decimate them. Ain't gonna be not one, not one missile or bullet that gets fired that's gonna make a significant impact against the Lord and His angels, man. All right, they're gonna be turned into smoke. You got a precept, brother?
Confident got one now.
What is it?
To the angel dried up the river Euphrates.
Khan, that's Revelation. Revelation chapter 16. Okay. All right, Revelation 16 and verse 12. It says, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." Okay, which we see that happening. All those droughts over there going on in what's so-called the Middle East. Okay, all right, which is really West Asia. All right, but the Euphrates River is dried up, man. That land has become barren and desolate. Okay, why? Because there's going to be a lot of troops gathered over there. Okay, the kings of the east. Who are the kings of the east? Russia. Okay, Iran, the leaders of those nations, China, India, all those eastern nations will be confederate against Babylon the Great whore. Okay, all right, and even the beast shall hate the whore. all right, going into NATO and the EU, they're going to break their covenant and confederacy with Babylon and turn on her. Okay. All right. So this is all what you see, these droughts taking place over there in the Middle East, ain't no water and the rivers are drying up. That's all to prepare the way or set the stage for World War III. Okay. Verse 13, it says, and I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, which represents Esau's Roman power structure. Okay, and the mouth of the beast. Okay, NATO, EU, Babylon the Great, and the mouth of the false prophet, which is going into the Roman Catholic Church. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty, man. All right, so this Edomite power structure is working in the earth to prepare, all right, the nations to go to war with one another, man, and eventually go to war with the Lord. Okay, all right, that's why you see all the nations slowly but surely, all right, if you want to say that, because it's really moving faster than we think. All right, moving over to that MOTB system and getting ready to bring in the CBDC. All right, getting ready to bring more lockdowns and draconian measures. All right, which when those things happen, understand that there's going to be a very heavy spirit of discontent that the other nations have, man. All right, they're going to start fighting for keeps, man. You know, they're going to want, one nation going to want a more bigger portion, you know, want to take control of this system. The other nation going to be like, nah, I should go that way. You know, we should do it like this. And eventually it's going to lead to World War III, man. Because this current society and system that we have as of now, that's set up as of now, has to be dissolved, man. All right, it has to be changed and replaced in order for this New World Order CBDC system to come into play, which means that a lot of people are going to have to go hungry. Okay, a lot of economies are going to have to be completely decimated. You know, a lot of people that are employed and have money are going to have to lose that. You know, and that's going to lead to infighting and wars. Okay. All right, which is why all the nations are in the Middle East as of now, and more are going to be going over there soon. Okay, as time goes on. All right. Now, verse 15, it says, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. All right, so we have to watch, man. We have to be aware of the times that we're coming into and understand that the Lord is getting ready to come back, and we have to maintain our integrity and our faith, man, because if we don't, we're going to get caught out there, man. Okay, we're going to get caught out there, not considering the times that we're living in, you know, being overcharged with the cares of this life and surfeiting and drunkenness and that careless spirit. Okay, and then shit the fan, and then you get caught out there because you weren't prepared. You weren't watching and praying. You weren't considerate. Okay. All right, war is popping off right now on the earth. Okay. All right, it says, and he gathered them together in a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, which means mountain of troops. Okay, it says, and the 7th angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple from the throne saying, it is done. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. Okay, why is that? Because those missiles are going to be shot off, blowing entire cities off the face of the map, man. Okay, it's going to cause a great worldwide earthquake when those missiles get shot off from the eastern hemisphere to the western hemisphere, over here to Babylon, and also back and forth. Okay, because you know Babylon going to be shooting their missiles too. Okay, there's going to be a whole lot of big booms and bangs going on, man. All right. It says, and the great city, which is Babylon, was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. Okay. All right. So Babylon is going to be destroyed very, very fast, man, very quickly. Okay. The Lord's going to make a speedy riddance of this place. Scriptures say what? In 1 hour is thy judgment come. Okay. And other nations, their great cities are going to be destroyed too. You know, some of them, a whole lot of them actually. All right, because it's not just the missiles. You got to understand too, Yahushua's coming back in the chariots as this is happening with the holy angels, man. And the presence of the Lord is going to cause the earth to shake. All right, the same way when the Lord came down on Mount Sinai, okay, when the Lord came down on Mount Sinai, all right, the earth was shaking. Okay, the earth was quaking, and Israel was like, oh, Lord, You know, we can't endure the sound of the words, man. So, you know, Moses go talk to him for us. You know, so that's just going to show you the presence of the Lord is going to shake the earth, and that's in 2 Ezra the 16th chapter, man. So don't get it twisted, man. When these missiles are being fired off in the presence of the Lord, okay, with the chariots is coming into the earth is going to shake and reel to and fro like a drunkard. All type of tidal waves, you know, tsunamis are, you know, the size of skyscrapers just wiping coastlines out. Okay, the sea is going to be troubled. Landscapes are going to change, okay, and be disfigured. Mountains are going to fall. Islands are going to be removed out of their places. All right, there's going to be smoke in the air, dark clouds, thunder and lightning. Volcanoes going to be erupting and shit. Fire is going to be breaking out in the earth. Animals going to be migrating, flocking around, attacking people, you know. Angels going to be getting down and busy, man. Okay. All right, it says, and great Babylon came in remembrance before the Most High to give her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. Okay, the mountains were not found, man. Okay, so the landscape of the earth is gonna be devastated, man. So what the hell is gonna be left for Russia to rule? You know? The earth quaking about and shit. People not gonna be able to stand and falling over, buildings falling on people. The ground just opening up sinkholes. You know, Leviathan popping up. Godzilla. You know. You know. It says, and there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, which is going into the missiles. And every stone was about the weight of a talent, and men blasphemed the Most High because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. Okay, so them missiles gonna be coming down, man, blowing people up, man, fucking shit up. Okay, wiping cities off the map, man, wiping entire counties and states off the map. Nations devastated. Okay, done. All right, and they're gonna be screaming and blaspheming the Most High. The Most High gonna be zapping them with them chariots, man. The laser beams. Tommy, no. Quintasia, no. You know. Rachel, no. You know. That's how it's gonna be, man. That's why the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, bro. Because the Lord coming back to jack some shit up, bro. Yeah. All right. Hey, this is Joe. You got a preset, bro?
What you better got, Joel 3?
Yeah.
I had Joel. I'll read for you.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1, and it says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem."
Right. Which is, we're living in those days, man. The Lord is turning our captivity, man. He's bringing back our captivity, first of all, by giving us this knowledge of Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? Which goes to prove that the Israelites would be in slavery, in captivity in the last days. They wouldn't be in a position of authority, okay, in the earth. All right? They would be on the bottom, subject to payments, okay? Lacking sovereignty, okay? And that's why the Lord is bringing this World War III, because the nations have taken the possession of the Lord and they refuse to let us go. All right, that's why Esau is bringing that MOTB, we believe through the Spirit, okay? All right, it's basically to put a stamp on the Lord's people and on all creation and say, this is my stuff, this is my possession, okay? And the other nations are confederate with that as well, which you read that in Psalm 83. And so the Lord has a bone to pick with them for that. Go ahead.
That's right. Verse 2, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land."
Right. So there you go, man. The Lord is bringing the nations into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which symbolically represents that area of the Middle East, you know, around Saudi Arabia, around the Euphrates River, that whole area, okay? The Levant, if you will, what was once called the Fertile Crescent, okay? To go fight that war, man. Bringing them over there So they can fight a war against one another, and then the Lord's just gonna pop up on their ass as they're fighting for control over the earth, okay, and the population of the earth, which includes the Lord's people as well. And the Lord gonna pop up and blow them all away, okay, destroy all their armies. Now, will people survive? Yeah, very few people will survive, but there will be survivors. Okay, you have, the citizens, a lot of, it's going to be a large number of citizens that may survive, in them bunkers, certain rulers, presidents, dignities, kings of the earth in the bunkers and stuff like that. Maybe certain generals. Okay. All right. But it's going to be, it's going to be a great cleansing, okay, of the earth, man. A lot of people are going to get put to death, man. And the ones that survive that are heathens are going straight into slavery. Okay? And the Lord's going to purge out the rebels of his people, the wicked of his people, the 2/3 and the rebels. All right? And they're gonna be put to death and come back in the kingdom underneath the elect. Through the elect. Okay? But the elect are going to be saved from this time of judgment. Okay? You have more?
I had a quick precept. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people. A tumultuous noise of kingdoms, of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
Right, so when we hear about, wars and rumors of wars and this going on with Iran and Israel and Ukraine and Russia and America and China and all these things, Taiwan, when you hear about these things, it's really the Lord that's mustering the host of the battle. The Lord is a man of war, man. Okay. All right. The nations are in a state of violence and tumult. All right. For basically vying for power. All right. Jockeying for power and control over the earth, which has not been given to them. All right. Or I'll say has not been promised to them, because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, but it's been promised to Yahushua, man. He's the one that was anointed to be king over the whole earth, man, and the whole population of the earth. And all things that we see and don't see, he's the one that's been given that dominion. Read Daniel chapter 7. Okay? All right? There was one like unto a son of man, and unto him was given a kingdom and glory and dominion, that all kingdoms and nations should serve him. All right? So they're fighting for something that is not promised to them. The inheritance has not been given to Gog and Magog or Moab or Esau or Japhet or Ham. No, it's been given to Yahushua and to the saints that come underneath him.
That's right.
Okay. All right. And so because of that, when Yahushua comes back and finds people fighting, all right, in his house, jumping on his couch, he gonna fuck they shit up. Imagine that. You come home and you find a bunch of strangers in your house fighting for the house like it's theirs. So that's how the Lord coming back, man, to judge them, man. All right, especially Babylon the Great, because Babylon is the one that's at the centerpiece of this rebellion against the Lord, forward in the image of the beast and covetousness and rebellion against the Yahushua. So Babylon, because Babylon is at the epicenter of this, Babylon has to be destroyed. Okay, to make a statement that's going to basically resound throughout time. Okay, never follow a multitude to do evil, nigga. Never follow somebody who has rebelled against the Lord. Fear the Lord, obey the Lord, and those that he has set up. So that's why Babylon is going to be wiped out. And the other nations are going to be devastated as well, and they're going to go into slavery. Their army is going to be destroyed, their weapons, okay, and they're going into chains.
That's right.
Okay. You got something else?
I had 2nd Ezra 13.
Okay.
I was talking about it. This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. Lo, there arose a wind from the sea and moved all the waves thereof.
Mm-hmm.
And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look,
mm-hmm.
all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Right.
And whatsoever the voice went out of his, that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire.
Right, so they're going to be afraid, man. When Yahushua comes back, the other nations are going to be terrified. But the Lord is going to put that rebellious spirit in them, okay, to fight against him. And he is going to first round knock out their ass, okay? All right, ain't going to be no back and forth. No, the chariots and the angels, all right, and the 144,000, all right, those battle axes and wars and weapons of war are going to decimate the armies and the inventions of the heathen, man. Okay.
Verse 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a great multitude of men out of a number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Right, and that's why you got the Space Force, man. You got different pacts amongst the nations where they understand that, you know, there are these objects that they don't want to admit is really the angels of the Lord and his chariots, okay, that are out there in the third heaven, moving around, that are beyond our technology, that are beyond our means of understanding, and we cannot deal with them. So they have secret pacts and coalitions, okay, to fight against this invasion from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, okay? All right, and they like to mock it and blaspheme it and twist it in these movies, talking about aliens and shit and how they gonna overcome them by shooting nukes at them and shit. Baloney. Okay? All fucking lies. All right? The Lord is gonna come back in those chariots, which the world calls UFOs, and hand you the ass whooping of eternity. Okay?
2 Ezra 13:6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not.
All right, so the chariot's going to be so big, that's going to blot out the sun. Okay, it's going to blot out the sky, man. All right. Go ahead.
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
Right, so the Lord is going to put the spirit on them to fight, even though they're going to be afraid. Okay? All the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, and he's going to destroy them. Okay, go ahead.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war.
Right, so the Lord is not going to come back and meet you as a man. He ain't going to come off the chariot with a sword and buckler, you know, with fucking brass knuckles, getting ready to go fisticuff with you. Fuck that. Okay, he going to speak a word. Them chariots going to open up and start raining fire and beams of energy at your ass, man. Okay? Literally turning you into smoke. Shooting thunderbolts. Alright? Go ahead.
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and
go, man. You know, that's it right there. The power of the Lord. Okay? Getting rid of armies, decimating entire countries and populations. That's how the Lord is coming back. Okay? In the midst of World War III, as the nations are fighting against one another, the Lord is going to come back and overthrow them. Okay? You had more on that?
Yeah, just verse 11.
Go ahead.
2 Corinthians 13:11. And they will mix together the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
And that includes Russia's army too. Okay? That includes the army of Russia too, and Iran, and Libya, and China, and Japan, and all them motherfuckers too. Along with the army of the United States. Gone. Done. Okay? So they ain't finna get together. Nah, man, they gonna be working in the fields, man, working in the mines. All right. Hey, this is Revelation chapter 19, verse 11. It says, and I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness doth he judge and make war. Okay. All right. So Yahushua is coming back to wage war. All right. And that white horse represents the power and the authority and righteousness that he's coming back with in those chariots. Okay. All right, it says his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. Talking about Yahushua's rank, okay, and how he's coming to take the authority of the earth from these other nations, man, publicly, which is already his, but you got to prove a point, okay. All right, it says, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. All right, because Yahushua is the Word of the Most High in the flesh. All right, and it doesn't mean that his vesture, his clothes, literally gonna be dipped in blood. No, because as we said, Yahushua is not coming as a man. Okay, it's going into the bloodshed that he's gonna spill. Okay, in the earth. All right. It says, and the armies which were in the heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. It says the armies. Why he coming back with armies? If he love everybody and he, you know, coming to pass out cotton candy and roses to everybody, man. Okay, he coming to whoop ass. It says, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty God. All right, so the Lord's going to smite and decimate these nations.
That's right.
Okay. All right, it says, and on his vesture and on his thigh was a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and small, both small and great. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. So they're going to try to fight against the Lord. Okay? But that's why the Lord is gathering together the fowls, man, to feast on their burning flesh. Okay? It says, and the beast was taken, he got his ass beat, and with him the false prophets that wrought miracles. Okay, so the armies of NATO, the EU, Babylon the Great will be destroyed by fire. Okay, America's going to be utterly decimated by fire from the Lord. Okay, all right, different parts of Europe are going to be jacked up too. All right, and with which he deceived them that had the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image, and they were cast alive into a lake which burneth with fire and brimstone. And the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceedeth out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. Okay, so the Lord's going to utterly destroy them, man. Okay. All right, so just wanted to bring that out. You had anything else, bro? So with that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, HaKadosh. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and citations to the elect. Shalom.